Hey now, I'm just going to pretend. Hi there. I'm now live. I'm going to pretend that it's Monday. Apparently, things happened yesterday. I didn't know what was happening until uh, I sat down here at 5 o'clock to do Facebook Live because it was Monday and I couldn't. It wouldn't. My laptop wouldn't load the Facebook. So I as usual, I'm very distracted. No, yes, there. So as usual, I don't know what as usual. I'll try to pay attention now. Hi. So yesterday, I'll start at the beginning. Yesterday morning at 4 o'clock a.m., my alarm went off for the first time on purpose. And at 4:15, it went off for the second time, also on purpose. And yes, please. And I went see, this is me paying attention to you. Um, I don't know. And I got out of bed with the 4:15 and I was in the car and at my friend's house by 4:30 and I got her to the airport by whenever we were supposed to be at the airport. So that was good. And on the way back at, 5:15, for some weirdo reason, I was in my head, I was wondering about this was yesterday morning. You know, yesterday morning was today is Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. What happened Sunday? I don't know. Did I go somewhere? Anyway, there was a story. Hi, let's have a complete sentence. There was a story on NPR about the whistleblower, the Facebook whistleblower, and I don't know if which I listened to, and I don't know if that was in my subconscious or what. But back to this morning, not this morning, yesterday morning, coming home from the airport at, early, I was trying to figure out, like, maybe I should just let go of Facebook and, in social media in general, and just, live my life and whatever, and right away, I'm like, "But then I wouldn't talk to all my friends." Like, people are all over, and I talk to them on Facebook. I have local friends, and I talk to them on Facebook, but I also have not local friends, and how would I talk to them? Like, letters. And there was a discussion today about that very thing and blogs and newsletters, but that's not the same as a little conversation on Facebook. So that's the one side of the argument. And the other is I don't need to, the other has many, I don't need to waste the time and I don't need to be influenced and I don't need to think that Big Brother's watching, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't come up with an answer. But then, that was yesterday morning, I sat on the couch with my laptop and I did, data entry into spreadsheets and I knit on some of the stuff I have to knit for hire. Oh, good. Nobody's looking right now. That's awesome. And I didn't look at social media. And then at 5, I ran up here to do Facebook Live and I couldn't get the page to load. And it turns out I couldn't get any pages to load for the rest of the day. It wasn't just Facebook. So I didn't know at the time that there was anything wrong with Facebook. Apparently, there was something very large wrong with Facebook. So I went to bed a little early because I had been up kind of early, a lot early. And I woke up this morning. There we go. And I still didn't have internet. I didn't have internet. And last night I tried restarting the modem and the router and I restarted all my devices and nothing was working. And so I thought, well, maybe it'll clear itself up tonight. And I like couldn't text people to see what was going on around the neighborhood. I could have walked out my door, but anyway, it was still not working this morning. So I finally got smart enough to put my phone on cellular data instead of Wi-Fi, and went to Comcast on my phone, Xfinity, and found out that it didn't recognize my modem, and it should because it was new and I just hooked it up a month or so ago. So I went and sat by the modem and I introduced it to Comcast. I said, "I have a new modem," which it's not new, and it found it and everything's hunky dory. And then I found out Facebook had been down. So I wouldn't have been able to do Facebook Live anyway, but here I am. So, hi, Fran. So you stay on social meeting. What's that mean? Holy crap. Oh, got it. Yeah, social media. Well, there's other social media. It just was interesting. And in my case, it was all of the internet because I didn't know that was, I don't know. But this morning or this afternoon, I was talking to with some friends and it's like, it's, do we need to be this reliant on social media? Yes. Are we proud of that? No. Um, so yeah, just starting to rethink things like, what if it went away like that? What if those darn aliens killed social media? I was traveling once and GPS went out. I couldn't get GPS to start working to get me a route, and I was like, crap, like because I was going to Cleveland. I've been past Cleveland a million times on the turnpike, but I'd never gone to Cleveland. I needed to go to a place. And so I was trying to, and I was just leaving home here in Michigan, so like I had a ways to go, but I couldn't get it to find Cleveland. Um and I was panicking. I'm like, this is how they're gonna get us. The aliens, they're gonna kill our GPS. Then we won't be able to go anywhere. So, maps, things like that. So I was all ready to do Facebook yesterday and then it didn't happen. So I'm just gonna do it today, but I'm not quite as prepared. But anyway, question number one, how's the lighting? I have new lighting. Tell me if it looks better or worse or the same, if you didn't notice. Question number two, I'll wait because I think I only have Fran right now. Um, so I will show you progress I'll tell you that I made a lot of progress on my crocheted Afghan, and it looks exactly the same, just longer. And I made finally some progress on this wrap. And Fran, this is why I don't think we want to do this as a knit along, a different one. Because I'm still really enjoying working on it, but it's still it's soul sucking is what it is. So this was the halfway point. So I am well past the halfway point, and I'm very happy about that. As a matter of fact, yeah, it's a lot of knitting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be a pin right there. That's the first repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on the second repeat. I'm almost done. I have 6 more rows and I'll be done with the second repeat of 3.5, which means I'm well over halfway done. So there you go. Hi, Jennifer. Um, yeah, so, kind of, I would say zooming along, and then I'd laugh because Zoom means something different. But honestly, today, I've had 2 Zoom meetings so far today, and I just knit my way through them. And I was going to knit through some movies last night, but I couldn't watch movies because I had no internet and I have no television. So I have to stream things and I was stuck. So there you go. Hi, Marilyn. Yes, like a pillow would be an excellent idea. Um, it's Intarsia, so we could do a little Intarsia class or something because it is really fun. I do like, well, Intarsia is really fun. The pattern, the thing, it's fine. I'll share with you when I could start weaving in ends. There's going to be some ends to weave in, but I kind of want to do that all at once. Just kind of go for it. And I'm going to block it and all kinds of stuff. So I'm doing a lot of spit splicing. I don't know if you've seen spit splicing before, but I'm not going to spit today. But that's another thing I can show you because I'll be working on this for a while longer. But happy to have made some progress. And then here's something I want to show you now that I have maybe a couple more people watching. um, I got my first subscription order from Amazon. Try to buy local, but I can't find these. So I did a subscription order, meaning they're supposed to show up every, I don't know, 12 weeks or something for these Safer brand um clothes moth traps. And it's this little piece of paper. It's heavy paper, kind of folded up, and there's a hole, and there's sticky stuff on the two inner long parts. And when you get them, I've got some that I didn't do yet. You open this little extra packet that comes with it, like your, ramen flavoring packet, but it's got this little teeny square in it, and you pitch it into the little hole in the back. You lay it like this, and you pitch it into a little hole in the back, and it sticks to one of the sticky surfaces, and then you're supposed to put this at eye level. None of that is written in the packaging. There are instructions, but they don't make sense until you go online and find some user video for how to load them up and use them, because I did it wrong the first time, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not catching anything. I must not have any moths," which I just didn't do it right. So anyway, this is one of the old ones. So I'm having them come every 12 weeks because I think that's how often it says to replace them. And if you recall, I had a moth issue, um, which I discovered when I moved all my stuff upstairs. And so here's an example of this one's been up for about 12 weeks. Okay. And it's been sitting, this one was sitting on that up there. See, there's another one up there now, a fresh one, because after 12 weeks, okay, dead bodies, look away if you're offended by dead bodies, but there's some moths stuck to the stuff, right? None on the top of this one. Okay, so that was over here, and that's where I'm keeping my some of my samples. So I just want to keep putting them there every 12 weeks. So I got a new batch the other day, yesterday, day before. Here's another one. So I have one on top of that shelf, one on top of that shelf, because there's samples there too. One over there where I'm not sure what's going to really live there, but right now it's class sample. Okay, it's more samples, but more like swatchy samples and some bags of knitting. So I don't want any of these things to get eaten by moths. So on the top of that shelf, and then also in my closet, which you can't see, which has all my yarn in it, I have one in there too. The one, excuse me, the one that I took off of the shelves over there. You ready? And there's some on the top too. Ugh. So they work, and that's disgusting. And there is a window right there, which I don't know if that makes a difference, but we are going to keep using those moth traps because they work great. And so I've got enough that I'm putting some downstairs in the basement where my fabric is too. It's gross. So, Safer brand. It's a green and white box. It looks just like the box with the pantry moth traps in it that I can find at the hardware store and the grocery store, but they don't have the clothes moth variety. So that's what those are. So there's that. That was your public service announcement is get some moth traps and then change them and do them right. And then the next thing I want to do is introduce a new project, woo, that I'm trying to get out of my life. This one should be pretty quick. I just picked it up, and I wouldn't have picked it up because remember I'm saying no now, but I picked it up. I had already said yes like a year ago, and we were waiting for. So a year ago, there's two Afghans, and they are. Someone knit them. I didn't ask the history. I will next time I see this person, but someone knit them. They're your regular Afghans that somebody makes, and then they sit on the end of the couch. And these are 20 years old, and they're made out of Peyton's Canadiana. Peyton's Canadiana. It's Canadian, and it's 100% acrylic, and it's a nice. I was gonna say it's a nice wool, but that would be silly. It's a nice acrylic. And a year ago, when the customer brought this, and I said, "Oh yeah, I can fix that." And the way there's some holes in it, which I haven't dealt with yet. So I'll deal with those with you also because I know how much you love to watch me um, make chaos into non-chaos. But when it's done in strips, and each strip, when they were sewn together, they weren't sewn together very. I'm trying to think of a word. It's they were sewn together well, but not all the rows were accounted for. So it was, oh, I can show you because look. So this is one of the places where it's sewn, and it's just kind of holy. I mean, it's just not. There's not. I mean, I guess that means that it's more reversible because there's no ridge. They just went from they being the person who set it together just kind of went from knob to knob. But as a result, it's not super stable at the seams. So I had said I would take it apart. You just whoop and put it back together. And that's part of what I'm doing. I'm also going to fix the holes. So here I took one apart. Here's one of them. And I also counted like 16 times each of the panels. There's 5 panels. So I'll be sewing 4 seams. And oh, by the way, there's 2 Afghans. And one of them had 61 repeats of the pattern and the rest all had 60. So the first thing I did was to undo the bind off of 20 years old, the 20-year-old bind off of the one that had 61 so that they're all the same size. And then here's where I started sewing the first one back together is here. So it's definitely sturdier right in here. But now we have a ridge, whereas before we didn't have a ridge. But I think, if they want it to last another 20 years, that this is the way to go. So I think that looks better, don't you? Here's the one an old one I'm going to take out, and here's the new one I'm putting in. Yeah, I think it looks better. And it's definitely stronger. And boy, oh boy, I do think this yarn is a really nice yarn. It is, even though it's acrylic, but I took out that's more of the story. I'll tell you the end of the story. I'm using the yarn that I took out, especially since I have since I took out one of the repeats on one of the things. I have yarn enough, and she had a little bit of a few balls. Thank goodness this family had a little bit of leftover yarn. They had the pattern handwritten, and they had they didn't have the label for the yarn, but somebody remembered the word Canadian patent. Somebody remembered Canadiana, so I was able to identify it. And so I think I'll have enough yarn to fix it. Hey, Abby. Yes, they are. Right. Those words that I couldn't figure out. So need to make my screen bigger so I can see all the words. So the customer first brought these to me a year ago, or before last winter, before the winter. And so a year ago, and wanted to have them fixed. And so I said, okay, I had one of them at that time. She didn't have both of them. And so I said, thanks for figuring out the yarn. Let me find some yarn and I'll buy a skein to sew it up with, because I didn't know that. I don't know. You think you need to have a skein. And so I looked up Peyton's Canadiana. I've been told it's Peyton's, not Patton's. And there wasn't any to be had in the entire universe. It was out. Like, it was the whole supply chain thing. And there was and I didn't know if I needed the Aran color. Is it called Aran? There's a natural white. No, might be called natural white or winter white. And there was an Aran, I think. And then there's one called oatmeal. And I couldn't find any of them. So I told the person, "I can't find any of the yarn," and she said, "Well, let me take it back to Boston." So there's that part of the story I don't really understand. She said, "Let me take it back to Boston for the winter, and when I come back next year in April, I'll bring it back to you and we'll try again." And I'm like, "Okay." So she brought it back and but she just brought it back. Like it's not April, this is October, so last month, September. I just picked it up last week. And, I ordered the yarn because now you can order the yarn, and I got all 3 colors because I didn't know which one I'd need, and now it turns out I don't need any. At least not for this Afghan. I haven't looked the other one's the exact same Afghan, but, it's a lighter shade. So I think this would be the oatmeal, and I ordered the oatmeal because of the choices. Those were and it's if it's 20 years ago, it could be that it was a different color entirely, right? So, here's the here's the oatmeal that I bought, and I'm not gonna open it because if I don't need it, I'm gonna return it. But here's the oatmeal that I bought, and it's a little hard it's not bad, I could use it for seaming, but I would never, I wouldn't, I think it's a little bit lighter, but that's the darkest of the naturals that they had, of the whites. So, oh, there's one of the holes. Nope, see, that hole is in the seam. I think that's why I decided to here, I'll show you, instead of just talking. Let's see where to go. Whoops, and I'm gonna get stuck under my try not to get tied up in my, headphone cord so I don't knock all my beverages over, and now I'll never find it. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Nope, lost it. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. I had it a second ago. So that's sort of one. That's not a and they were just where's the one I just saw? Is this exciting for you? Oh, there it is. Whoops, yikes. So right there, that is on one of the seams. So that one will get fixed, and I have to find there's a couple, maybe at least one more hole and maybe more. So once I get it all sewn up, I will see what's left. And right now, hold on. I have attached myself to the Afghan. There we go. Yeah, so if I end up not needing the yarn, that's great, and I'll return it. And it turns out it's really easy to return things through Amazon. I did it once since before COVID, and that was a month or so ago. And I walked into a Whole Foods, handed them a book at the counter that says Amazon returns. That was right in front of the door, and they took it, scanned it, said thank you. That's it. That's all you have to do to return things. Am I still frozen? Oh no. Um, I am aware that my internet is unstable, so I'm gonna try to work on that. But I'm teaching, by the way, I'm teaching at well, here, right here on not on Facebook though, on the Zoom for Stitches this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I have 3 classes. One is I'll just give you a little blurb right now. One is pickup lines, which is picking up stitches, and that's 2 sessions over 2 days. Picking up stitches, like for a band or an armhole or what are those called? Sleeve. And we're going to talk about ratios and try all kinds of things. And one of them is the top down set and sleeve class that I teach a lot that seems to work. And the third one is my preventing and fixing, and that one's 2 classes as well. The first day we do the armhole, custom fit armhole, and the second day we put the sleeve in, top down, no sewing. And then the third class is my mistakes class, which I haven't taught on Zoom yet, so that'll be interesting. Kind of looking forward to that. And if you go to there, and click at the top, if that worked, and click on the top. I could do it better than that. I could give you the actual link, except I closed all my, no, I didn't. Let's see. Please hold. I'll find it. Not there, not there. Here. And let's open the last closed. Oh, it's not there. Okay, so let me open it again. Stitches.events. Nope. Somehow I'm adding a calendar entry that says stitches.events. So that didn't work. Okay, here we go. So top of it says events and it's a drop down and I'm going to click on Stitches Expo at Home October and then I'm going to, oh, nope. I'm going to actually go to class information, teachers, because I don't care if you take a thing from anybody else, but I want you to take one from me. Sarah Peasley, view my classes. Here we go. Okay, this screen I'll put in there for you. Copy. Now where's you? You're on the other browser because Facebook is weird and I can't use my see it says okay. And I'm going here. Well, it did work, but I'm going to put this one in. There you go. So that'll have my classes on it. What did that just make me think of? See, there's my sleeve class. I thought of something, and now I don't know what it was. Darn it. Okay. I don't care. Whatever. So I showed you the new project, and I showed you the that I'll be working on, and I told her I'd have that done by the end of October. A week before, it's the 25th, I think, is what I said when I said I'd have it done. So yay. What was I going to say about maybe the stitches? I was going to try to get my Wi-Fi fixed before then, but it's not fixed. To see if I can plug directly into the wall. Anyway, I showed you the Afghan I'm going to take apart and sew back together. I showed you that I made it to the halfway point on the that giant wrap. And then I promised that I would work on these holes with you. So another thing I did, not the other thing, was that I didn't steam or sew yet, but I finished the new ribbings at the bottom. What do you think of the black? I think the black looks pretty good because we couldn't find any more of the blue, or we couldn't find any blue that matched exactly. So I did, so I picked up in an earlier Facebook Live, I put a needle in and cut off the blue border, picked it out and used black yarn to make the new border. And so I could sew that up. And then I also was gonna show you, I was gonna fix it. There's two holes. I was gonna fix at least one of them. Were you going to tell us why you had this Afghan a year ago and then again now? Oh, because I couldn't find the yarn to fix it. And apparently she can't live without it. So you like the black better. Yeah, I started with gray and the gray wasn't exactly right and it just looked but I think the black looks okay. So Jennifer, she brought the one Afghan in and we could not get the yarn. We couldn't buy the yarn. It did not exist in the world or wasn't able to be shipped or something. So she said, I'll bring it back. She goes to Boston. Okay, I missed that part. She goes to Boston for half the year. So she took it back for the winter. Well, she went to Boston and then she brought it back when she got home. So I just got it back. And this time I could order the yarn, no problem. It was here in like 2 days or less. So that's the answer about why I had the Afghan a year ago and why I have it again now. I knew that. I thought you could figure that out from all my cryptic chit chat, but apparently not. And that's okay. But yeah, so, and now there's two Afghans. They multiplied. So she pulled one from another family member. And she's very excited about getting them fixed up. And this time she said, I washed them. We hadn't washed them in 20 years, and oh my gosh, they're so soft now. And I'm like, ew. So yay. Acrylic. So I could do one of the seams, the little side seam, and I told you that I would Are you all right? Clara made noises. I'll fix one of the holes for you. Oh, and that's what I can show you too. Okay, so here's what I had ready for yesterday. How are we doing? Good. So how often do I say so? All the time, constantly? When I took off the border that was this blue and rashly cut it off, I could have saved the yarn, but yeah, I could have saved the yarn, but I rashly cut it off and saved the yarn, but it's in strips of 1 or 2 lengths long, and it all looked like that, right? It's a nice wool. It's 2 strands held together. I don't even think it's a 2-ply. I think it's just 2 2-ply yarns because it separates very easily into 2 2-ply yarns. And it looked like that. And I didn't want to do the repair with woobly yarn. So, and I'm sorry I didn't show this to you. We'll pretend that I was going to show it to you and then I didn't because Facebook didn't exist yesterday. But in reality, I didn't know if it would work, so I didn't try to do it live. But check this out. If you're familiar with Laura Lee Beltman, she used to have a yarn shop in Grand Rapids, and then she didn't have a yarn shop in Grand Rapids, and then yeah, Marilyn says she has 4 of those Afghans and that they don't feel like acrylic at all. Yeah, this is a nice yarn. It's maybe the same yarn. Who knows? Laura Lee Beltman, at some point in the last, I don't know how many years, put up a video on Facebook somewhere, blog, I don't know, showing a teapot. And I don't have a teapot, but I have 2 electric kettles now. And so one of them that's not the one that Sheila bought for me when my electric kettle died. And out of the kindness of her heart, she bought me a new tea kettle. This is the one I won at an auction, and it's crap. And it takes forever to heat up. So let that be. I don't know. There's some lesson there, but what Laura Lee did was she fed the yarn down the spout and out the top of the tea kettle, or vice versa. I guess it doesn't matter. But that's what I did, was into the spout, which was interesting because it's not open, it's got holes, so I had to actually thread it through the holes. And did I mention that these were some short pieces, right? So what I did was I tied them together in little overhand knots, which then had to fit through the holes, and they did, thank goodness. So I put like this much water in the tea kettle, and I turned it on, and I left the lid open. So the electric tea kettle has a sensor, and when it gets to boiling enough, to boil, it clicks itself off. So at first I left the lid open, and then as it was getting closer, I kind of just laid the lid down, and I already had this fed through the spout and out the top of the teapot. So the lid was like, it had to kind of travel between the teapot and the lid, but there wasn't a lot of stress on it. But anyway, as it got really hot, I started pulling, and it went in the spout all woobly and came out the other end like this. And after a while, the teapot would click and turn off, and I could keep doing it because it had steam in there, right, from the boiling. And then after 30 seconds, I would be pulling woobly out. It wasn't enough steam anymore to straighten this out. And I wasn't putting any tension on it. I was just pulling it like, like that. And so then I'd hit the button again and let it start. It would right away start to make the bubbly noise, or not bubbly, but the noise. That's a technical teapot term there, the noise. And then I'd start pulling it through again until it clicked off, and about 30 seconds after. And so I did all of this yarn. So it's got holes or knots in it, but I can use it, and I'll give it to her with the repair and say, hang on to this. We can use it for more repairs later. And, I'm deciding not to feel bad that I didn't, that it ended up being in pieces but look, it's like a nice bowl of yarn that's all straight. So yay me. So I am going to move my tea because that would be bad if it fell, but everything else is water. Yes, everything else, because I have a bubbly water and a not bubbly water. So if they spill, and I'll move my keyboard because bubbly water. Okay, I'll move my mouse. Okay, so what I thought I could do is, did anybody say anything else? I don't think so. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, Marilyn was talking about having some similar afghans. Okay, so here's what I'll do, and now I can't see when there's my cleavage. What's that? Oh, that's the lid of this guy. And I want a needle that's not sharp. See, this one's sharp. Whoop. That one's sharp. Whoops, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There, that one's sharp. There, that's sharp. And these other little ones are also sharp. So let me find another, that was funny. It's like, I know where the camera is. So I just happen to have 8,000 more needles, so let's find one. How about in this green thing? Yeah, there we go. So that one's not sharp. Let's do a little compare and contrast. If I can find it again. Okay. Sharp on top, not sharp on the bottom, right? So I want sharp when I weave in ends because I like to split through the backs, and I like not sharp when I'm sewing. So, and this you probably won't be able to see because it's black, but I'll give it a shot, trying to see what you can see. Yeah, I don't think that's going to show very much. Okay, then I won't do that. I'll just do the, I'll do a repair. So this one, whoop, whoop, whoop. I had put the needles in last week and ascertained, big word, that there's just one row missing. So I'm going to, so this will be, should be an easy one. And yep, it's still two strands each. I'm just going to make sure that I have 2 strands all the way to the end. And it'll be like Kitchenering. It will be Kitchenering. Let me see what I want to do. But it's also, like if I took them out, I might be able to do it better. Oh, and then that was really thin right there. That one. So I'll probably end up duplicating the row between also. Or the row that's on that needle right there. So I want to start by going there. Right? And then, you know what? I'm going to do this. Whoop. Now that I know what it looks like. Okay. And I'm going to go like this. I need more. I need more. Okay. And then like this. Oh, I think that row's already there. Okay. That row's already there. I need to go up a row. Off to a roaring start. So I really want to go in here. Yeah, right there. Okay, so take this out. Thread it. I like to thread my needles by bending the yarn or the wool, the thread or the wool in half and shoving it through the eye. I don't do that with sewing thread because that usually doesn't work. Okay, I want to get my hand in there. Okay, so, and what I'm gonna do, I think I said gonna too much, is, so it is Kitchener stitch, but when you do it without the needles in, what you're doing is grabbing the V, the little closed V, So that's an upside down V for me. And then and this would be on the needle and it would look like that. You could do it as, whoop, Kitchener stitch. But I am a trained professional, so I'm just going for it without the needles. So this is technically in as if to purl. That wouldn't be right. Oh, the way it would be on the needles, that would be in as if to knit and out as if to, and then the next one as if to purl. And that would be in as if to purl and in as if to knit. Look at that. Ha. I hope that's where you can see it. I think this is my row. Is that correct? And then up here, I'll do a couple past. What do you think? Can you see it? It's right here. Yeah, I think that's on the camera. And this went into the seam. So I'll probably take this end and dive down into the seam and come back and redo the row above it. And then I think I'll also redo the row below it because it doesn't feel like it's thin around it, but that row was definitely worn out for whatever reason. I can go there with this one. Boop, boop. Is that this guy? Yes. So I'm going to go up here. Nope. Up. Where do I want to go? Here. Did that work? And then I'm going to turn it around because I want to go backwards. Now I don't know which row I did. I think I did this row. Yep. Okay, I did that row. So I'm recreating the row underneath that now. Okay. Wait, what? Yes. So I'm going under here. And then down here we go. Got it. Half the fun is figuring out where the hell you are. And now it's basically fabric I'm just duplicate stitching onto. And that's nice and easy. So this duplicate stitching was something I always put in at the end of my intarsia class. Because you could intarsia in, that's a verb, you could intarsia the things that were not, you could duplicate stitch the things that weren't fun to intarsia. If that is indeed a, so that was this row, that was that row, so I want this row, I think. Spin it around again. I'm just going to go ahead and use this strand for all of it. Okay. Really hope I'm not attaching to the other side of the sleeve while I'm doing this. Whoop. Uh-huh. So what I did was, there was only one row missing. Whoops, yep. So I recreated that row and then I'm duplicate stitching over the rows to the left and or the top and the bottom, above and below. So that's my fix. I'll give it a little shot of steam. Whoop, oh boy. And I think that's it for that one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So there you go. I'm going to bring this back up so I can see you. And I could work on the other one, or we could all go home. I don't have the new computer yet, Marilyn. I don't know how it's working out. They haven't called me. I'm sad. Let me try this, see if it works. I think I learned how to do a poll. So I'm going to activate it and you can answer it. And if I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't even know how it works. So I think I activated it. Did something happen? I can't get out. Oh, settings. I can't get back to my video. So that's interesting. Okay. Dashboard? There I am. Is there a thing in the thing? No. Is there a poll? I don't know how polls work in Facebook Live, but I think I just did a poll. Maybe not. It says I only have 2 viewers, so we won't get a lot of answers regardless. Wonder if that's true. What's that say? Yeah, publish a poll. I think I just did. Didn't I? I don't know. I don't know. Feature checklist comments. Yeah, nobody's saying anything, so I don't know if a poll went out or not, or if it appears somewhere else. I don't know, but I'm just trying everything on the fly. Do you want to see the other one? Get the other one fixed? It's a little more. It's more rows. Or do you want to go make your supper? What do you think? That should have been the poll. What do you think? So I don't need these two anymore. That side's done. So I just want to get the, want to go make your supper? Is that what it's going to say? You don't see a poll. Well, where the hell did the poll go? All right, let's see if I can make a poll. Polls. That's my poll. It says it's active. Is there a thing to click on for polls? It says it's active. I would have thought it would be in the, thanks for helping me. Thanks for being guinea pigs. I would have thought it would be in the chat. But maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know. Comments, viewer, stream, polls. Once again, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, you want to watch the next one? Okay. Okay. I will do the other one. It won't be quite as quick and dirty because it involves more rows, but we'll see how I can do. Because then, oh, that's what I started to say 1,000 years ago was I would like to call this woman, not call her, that's cavemanish. I would like to contact her and say, come get it tomorrow. Because she wanted this sweater before it got cold. Right? So let's do the other one. So that's the one I'm going to steam and leave in the ends later. The other one is here. And it's definitely going to be more rows. I think there's 2 that are missing this time. Yep. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this one, but you know, there's lots of ways to do repairs. I like to just kind of wing it. You could set it up ahead of time. And yes, I have a fancy gizmo. Oh, this is worn down here too. So this is going to have some more. I'm going to duplicate stitch quite a bit here, but it's nice up here. All right, so let's start there and work our way down. There's repair thingies you can do, but I'm trying to just recreate the sweater at this point. Okay, so I'm grabbing the V, the narrow part of the V before the stitch that's on the needle, like for my anchoring thing. And then, nope, I did it wrong again. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I'm too low because did I split? I did. Don't split your yarn. That's why we use a blunt needle. And I split it anyway. Oop. Okay. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, started another sentence. Oh, so that exists. So that's okay. So. I'm going to go here. And then, so I went around the narrow legs of this V, and then I'm gonna go up here to this one and get the narrow legs as they point toward the spot that I'm fixing. And then I'll come back down here and go in this one. That would be as if to knit, and then these are backwards. So backwards in relation to how they would be for actual Kitchener stitch. Let me flip them around for knitting. Oh, that one was the only backwards one. Okay. And these are not backwards. Okay, that's just the one. Oop. Okay, so that, and then I'm gonna just stick a needle in here to see how this works. And go, let's see. We would go through there next. And I'm just gonna put a loop over there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go through as if to knit and through as if to purl. And I'm gonna put another loop on there. Deal with them later. Because the row that I want to attach it to does not exist yet. Because 2 rows were missing in the whole. And then as if to knit, as if to purl. And then around the needle to create a stitch. I don't know. And then as if to knit and as if to purl. This is called going for it. I don't really know. And then around this needle to make a stitch. This is the patented Sarah Peasley, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, let's make it up as we go along technique. And then that one's pretty thin. I'm going to want to, and I have a class for Kitchener stitch that is, my goal is to get you to do Kitchener stitch without a cheat sheet like I'm doing right now, without a cheat sheet. Okay, and then I would, let's see, huh. Well, that's weird. Oh, okay. I'll go like this. So that's actually that. Okay. And then we'll do that. Okay. And that's some stuff I'll pull to the inside, these little fluffy bits. Because that's the part that doesn't, it was broken or worn. There we go. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. And hopefully I'm only missing 1 row now. If I'm missing 2 still, then it was all for naught because I don't know. I think I'm just missing 1 row now. We'll find out. Trying to adjust the tension very scientifically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I went into the fabric a little bit. Okay. Let's go into the fabric a little bit farther. So this is more like just duplicate stitch over here. I think I'm too low. I think that was too low, so I'm going to undo, well, you can always go around the outsides and beef it all up, which is what I'm going to end up doing, but we'll just get the main hole closed up with you guys. Okay, so that was too low, right? Yes. Let's see what that was that, and then, I don't know, now I'm stuck. Okay, I'm stuck, so I'm going to turn around and see if I can close the hole now. With my new stitches I put on and the old stitches that were here. Let's see where I am. That was that. Yep, let me do this. Just want to anchor it over a little farther into the fabric. Okay. If it's not right, when I'm done and I look at it, if it's not right, I'm just going to take it all out and do it again. Okay. Still going off to the side here just to make it, to firm up some edges there. Okay. And then we're going to recreate that row. I think that is correct. So let's dive down in and come out here. Let's go here. Get a running start. And duplicate stitch our way back to the left. I've probably repeating myself, but I've never just done a duplicate stitch class. I think that could be fun. Okay. Okay. Correct. Backwards, backwards. Backwards, not backwards, not backwards. Right, where am I? Over here, knit off, right? Is that where I am? Or was that a knit off? Did I already knit off? So this would be, yes. Purl on, okay. And over here, well, I'm going to do this thing again because it's easier to see. Maybe. Which row am I creating? That one. So I go in here and out there. And then knit off, purl on. These are pretty worn, these stitches on this needle. And then I don't know. Maybe shouldn't have taken that needle out. We're gonna try it, see if it works. In there, out there, I think. It'd be nice if this works. That would be the knit and the purl. Whoops, don't take it off yet. Yep, not a clue what I'm doing here. Through there and through there. Knit off. And through that one. And through that one and through that one, I think. Did I get off? I think I got off. Yeah, I got off. Hmm. Yeah, there's some work to do. So I did a good job of not twisting, and I may not be off, but I think I need to take off my glasses and bend way down over it and see, and then fill in the rest to make sure, because the columns are all there. And I do need to also go over the ones where it's thin. I don't know if you can see those. It's thin here. But I got the hole kind of closed. This is interesting. I think that's one of the cut ends, broken ends. Trying to grab it from the other side without being able to see it. Oh, there. Maybe. Nope, still there. There. Now let's look. Yeah, messed something up there in the beginning. Okay, anyway, that's it for tonight with that one because I got to get down and dirty with that, but that's close. And I'll take pictures of it. I hope to get it back to her tomorrow, but I'll take pictures of it. If not, it'll be next week and you can watch the end of it, but I'll take pictures or show you the end result anyway. What is your preferred salad dressing? That was my poll. Interesting, with clickable answers. Okay. Well, at some point I'll reinvestigate the poll. Yeah, I don't that wasn't a very the other one was pretty impressive, right? So, I think my mistake was trying to well, not mistake. Uh when two rows are missing and you're Kitchenering doing a Kitchener type repair, there's nothing to um hook the top of the stitch to. So I wrapped around the needle and I think that was fine. But then I took the needle out to come back the other way and I don't think that was fine. It's yeah. So I'll be working on that some more. I tried. It's not bad, but it's not good enough. So it'll be good. It'll be good. But that's all. That's all. What else? Anything? Um, I think that's it. So just like everything else I tried, polls, we don't know what the polls did. I just thought I'd throw it out there because I don't know. And yeah, that's about it. I don't have any idea. Next week I'll give you progress next Monday, hopefully, if Facebook exists. And I have Wi-Fi. I'll give you progress on this sweater and the Afghan and an update on the wrap. And no, I maybe promise not to show you any dead bodies next time because that's gross. When I thought I was catching 3 or 4, and wow, I'm glad I'm using the traps. I'm catching 3 or 4 moths, and then I got the one over there with a lot of dead bodies, and I was like, ugh, glad I'm using the traps. So, that type of repair with missing rows would be a good class. Well, perhaps I should learn how to do it more efficiently and without saying I don't know what I'm doing before I would teach that as a class. Um, that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. I recently, I threw it downstairs. Did I tell you that did I tell you last week that I picked up a free cashmere sweater with a lot of holes in it so I could practice the other kinds of repairs, the visible mending? Sounds familiar. I think I might have told you that. But anyway, I am leaving. I want to make dinner. Um, and I still need to, I still need to, I have taxes. I'm still working on taxes. Gotta get them in. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for pretending to do a poll with me. I'm learning, or maybe I'm not, but I'm trying. And I will see you next week. Okay.